There's a kind of house you can't see, but you live in it every day. A house made not of walls and windows, but of worries and what-ifs. Every thought, a brick. Every fear, a nail. You didn't mean to build it. You just wanted to feel safe. It started small, a habit of checking twice, a carefulness that people called mature. But over the years, that carefulness became your architecture. You designed your life around not being hurt. You measured every doorway of connection, made sure every emotion had an escape route. Psychologists call this fear-based control, the illusion that safety comes from anticipation. That if you think hard enough, plan well enough, you can stop the pain before it begins. But fear doesn't build homes. It builds cages that look like them. And maybe that's where you live now, in a quiet, beautifully arranged, emotionally alarmed house. You keep everything tidy so nothing explodes. You say, "I'm fine," like a security system. You stay ahead of rejection by leaving first. Tell me something. What are you afraid might happen if you finally let your guard down? If you stopped bracing for the fall? Would the world really collapse? Or would you finally feel what you've been running from? Because here's the thing, you don't have to tear the whole house down. You just have to open one window. Let the air in. Let life, unpredictable, uncontrollable, honest life, touch the walls you built to survive. Fear rarely begins as fear. It begins as protection. A child trying to read the room before the storm. A teenager staying quiet to keep the peace. An adult mistaking vigilance for strength. You learned early that love wasn't guaranteed. That peace depended on prediction. So you became an expert at it. You watched faces for micro-expressions, memorized tone shifts, turned survival into sensitivity. And it worked. You stayed safe. You stayed small. You stayed in control. But here's what no one tells you. Control and safety are not the same thing. In psychology, there's a phrase, learn protection. It means your brain keeps guarding you even when the danger is gone. The nervous system doesn't deal in calendars, it only knows patterns. So every time life gets calm, your body whispers, something's missing, because peace feels foreign. You were raised inside chaos, so silence now sounds like a warning. Do you ever notice that? How you feel anxious when things are good. How you start waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's the echo of the old house calling you home. The house you built when safety was something you had to create, not something you could trust. But what if fear isn't the enemy? What if it's just the oldest part of you trying to keep you from being hurt again? You don't have to destroy that part. You just have to tell it, you're safe now. Because you are. Even if your body hasn't caught up to that truth yet. Your fear became familiar, like a childhood room you never moved out of. You rearranged it, redecorated it, called it being careful. But the foundation stayed the same. If I can control enough, I won't be hurt. You carried that blueprint into adulthood. At work, it shows up as perfectionism, the constant need to prove, perform, prevent failure. In love, it becomes hypervigilance, scanning every text, every pause, for signs of leaving. In solitude, it turns into overthinking, replaying old conversations like security footage. That's what living in a house built from fear does. It gives you the illusion of safety, but robs you of rest. Neuroscience calls this anticipatory anxiety, when your brain mistakes preparation for protection. It's the survival system working overtime. Every plan, every apology, every sleepless night is your body whispering, maybe this time, we can stay safe. But what happens when safety becomes your only goal? You stop letting yourself be surprised. You stop trusting joy. You start mistaking calm for boredom and love for danger, because both feel unfamiliar. Has that ever happened to you? Where peace feels suspicious, where good news makes you nervous. That's not self-sabotage, that's memory, disguised as instinct. The child who learned to flinch still lives inside the adult who flinches at love. And until you show them otherwise, they'll keep rebuilding that same old house, brick by brick, worry by worry, hoping fear will keep them safe from what already happened. But maybe it's time to stop protecting yourself from the past and start protecting yourself for the future. Fear changes shape as you grow. What once looked like hiding under the covers now looks like keeping your guard up in conversations. What once meant flinching at anger now means avoiding vulnerability, because vulnerability still feels like danger. You tell yourself you're being smart, cautious, grounded, but deep down, you know it's more than that. You're building escape routes in relationships before you even walk in. You're rehearsing heartbreak before it happens. You're preparing for goodbye during the hello. And the strangest thing? You attract people who fit inside your fear. People who keep you busy, uncertain, never fully secure, but never fully gone. Because that rhythm of unpredictability feels eerily familiar, like home. Attachment research calls this anxious preventive wiring. It's when your nervous system confuses intensity with intimacy. You crave closeness, but brace for loss. So you never really let your heart exhale. But listen, the problem isn't that you're too much or too careful. It's that no one taught you what safety feels like. No one modeled it long enough for your body to believe it was real. You've spent years protecting yourself from falling apart. But what if the breaking you fear is really just your walls beginning to breathe? So let me ask you this. What would it mean to let someone see you unguarded? To stop rehearsing pain and start practicing peace? Could you trust a world that doesn't demand your vigilance? Maybe safety isn't the absence of fear. Maybe it's the presence of gentleness strong enough to stay when fear knocks at the door. You can't dismantle a house built from fear overnight. You do it slowly, beam by beam, thought by thought. You start by noticing what it feels like to relax, even for 5 seconds. That tiny pause, that's your foundation shifting. Begin with your body. When you catch yourself tensing, breathe like you're teaching your lungs they're allowed to expand. When your chest tightens for no reason, remind yourself, nothing bad is happening right now. That's not denial, that's nervous system re-education. Your body needs proof that safety isn't just a theory, it's an experience. Try this micro-practice. Each time you feel the urge to control, instead of forcing calm, whisper, I trust myself. Not, I trust everything, just yourself. Because self-trust is the first room built from peace, not fear. Then, let small imperfections live. Let dishes wait. Let a text go unanswered. Let someone's silence exist without inventing stories about it. Every moment you resist overmanaging, you're teaching your nervous system a new truth. Safety doesn't require supervision. And when you feel the old panic rise, that inner alarm that says something's wrong, you can answer it softly. We're okay. We're home now. That's the reframe. You're not tearing your house down. You're renovating it into something warmer. Windows that open. Floors that creak with laughter. Walls that hold you, not cage you. So let me ask, what's one habit you've mistaken for safety? And what small act of trust could replace it today? The house doesn't disappear when fear leaves. It just starts to feel like a home again. One day, you'll wake up and notice the quiet feels different. Not tense, not waiting, just quiet. You'll make coffee without rushing. You'll let someone's love arrive without rehearsing your defense. And maybe for the first time, you'll realize you're not living in that old house anymore. The walls are still there. The memories, the echoes, but they don't hold you hostage now. They hold history. They remind you who you had to be and who you no longer need to be. You'll see fear for what it truly was, a builder that worked too hard, a guard that stayed too long. You can thank it now. You can let it rest. Because safety isn't something you control. It's something you feel, in a deep breath, in the quiet trust that the world won't collapse when you stop holding it up. If this felt like your story, write one line in the comments. What fear-built habit are you finally ready to let go of? And maybe, what would freedom look like if you stopped bracing for loss? Before you go, share this quietly with someone who's still building walls when all they ever wanted was a home. Because fear taught us to survive, but love teaches us to live. And somewhere deep inside you, beneath the alarms and the armor, there's a room that's been waiting for you all along. Sunlight on the floor, windows open, no locks on the doors.